He was my first love. He was such a great father. Um, he taught me the value of life, of learning. Taught me the value of like culture. He taught me the value of family. Family was the most important thing in his life. Remember Mom talking about moments where they would travel and travel and travel, but no matter where, like my mom would go because we were with her, he had to be close by. He was always there with us in the most important times that I needed him. And when I had Kevin, you know, he took the responsibility of being his father, and also with Juliet. And he did that because of the love that he had for me, because he wanted for me to just continue and learn and live life and not just stay stuck. He was always like, we're that 1%, that 1%. But because I had such a good support system, I, fought all odds. It's not, because of that, I was able to, study and not just get a bachelor's, not just get one master's, but I got 2 master's degrees. And like everyone said, just the fact that I was accomplishing this, it was just like his utmost, pleasure and joy. That any little thing that we would do, he was always there to support, and he was just there at all times. I, like Dad, math wasn't so much of my thing, although it wasn't too shabby. I remember I was better at algebra. Kevin was better at geometry, so I would often, when I was studying those things, I would often look at him and he would teach me a thing or two. And then Juliet, I would see her and Dad often on Sundays just having conversations, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about, but they were just living that moment. I always compare my dad to Albert Einstein, because not only did he look like him, it was just the love of learning, that the math, the physics, the science, the why, philosophy. It was just he just lived it, and because he loved it, you learned to love it because of how passionate he was. And I just hope that I can just be, an image of his image, and be able to touch lives in any positive way. I am, in many ways, I am like my father, I feel. More kind of quiet, but I reckon to be, messing with, because it's that silent, but you get things done. And learning how to just talk about anything, and being able to have hold a topic of conversation to anyone that you meet. He was just he was humble and kind, and I just loved him dearly. He was my everything. And I feel, I know that we all are born, we all have to go through this. It's really hard for me because, he was really, really involved in my life. But I just, I'm just going to read a couple poems and then I will talk a little bit later. I'm so sorry. So during the time that he passed, him and I, we just loved to write poetry. Like, I don't know if you guys knew that, but he loved to write. And especially when I turned 15, he wrote me a poem. He also wrote me a poem about a penny, and I can't really talk about specifics, but he called it Innocence. And then anytime there was a special moment, he always wrote different poems, or he would dedicate certain books to me if he. And I have all of those. I have all of the cards that he's written, and I want to compile them so that I can, read those on and on and on. But I wrote one about a mathematician because he just loved math. And I told Julina, I was like, you're probably the only one that's going to understand this, just like the conversations that you guys had. But so I'm going to read that one first. And these all actually came after his passing, but it was almost as if like we were still connected. And we're going to always be connected, but it was kind of me. So, mathematician like no other. Even the foundations of Principia Mathematica by Bertrand Russell fell short in your darkest hour. Your coefficient of determination had so many variables. You had it all analyzed, measured, and planned, fighting against all odds, turning negatives into positives your entire life. When we left you, you felt a sense of relief because you wanted our image of you to remain strong. It was time for the great divide to be with the higher power. Your lifelong student, Damaris, for my loving mathematician father.